It's old BL. Brandon Lewis filling in for Michael Yaffee. You know, often people, they've got to be curious. Like, why would somebody who already makes a good living, who doesn't have to get involved in politics, that doesn't have to do it, especially for free, not as an elected official or anything, like, why would you put this much time, energy, and effort into defending conservatism in Hamilton County and in Tennessee? Well, I'll tell you, I love this place. I love this state. I love my county. I love my city. I moved up on Signal Mountain. I lived downtown for 15 years and just slowly watched Democrat leadership take quality of life issues in my neighborhood into the crapper. And it doesn't seem to have any brakes on it in Chattanooga, which is a shame. I think we're going to go from being the scenic city under Democrat leadership to being the trashy city. I can see it everywhere I go, and it breaks my heart. And so I just want our county and our city and our state to be good when my kids get an opportunity to pick where they're going to live. And the corporations are engaged, the special interests are engaged, but I don't see conservatives truly engaged in state and local issues. And here's a challenge to you. If you were brought on the air right now, you're listening to the sound of my voice, redneck as it is, if I asked you, what are 2 or 3 big things that happened in the legislature last year, like, could you tell me? If I asked you, hey, you've got a state rep and a state senator, how did they vote this session? And if the answer is, I don't know, I have no idea, I just watch Fox News, I just know what's going on with Trump and Biden, well, that's how you lose your state, that's how you lose your county, that's how things deteriorate. And then one day you look around and you're like, we need to save this place. I'm here to tell you, politically speaking, by the time you look around and say we need to save someplace, it ain't savable. You can hold it where it is. Maybe you can bring it back, make it a little better, but you can't ever get it back to great. And so I think we've got something great in our county. I think we've got something great in our state. I think we could have something much better in our city with better leadership. And so that's why I'm engaged, and I would like to encourage you to do the same.
Hey, Brett. So, we've got another Tony on the line. This one,
oh, my gosh.
Yeah, this is Tony Day, apparently.
All right. Tony, come on. Tony in stereo. It's glad to hear you. Brandon Lewis here on the Talk Monster.
I've got 2 questions. One is probably pretty simple. The other one is a little more complicated, and I'm not sure what the answer would be. But, I understand the top of the hour news is ABC News, and we got to listen to that liberal garbage every day at the top of the hour, even though we have conservative programming almost exclusively all day and night on both this and 1150. But for some reason, your parent company wants us to have ABC News tell us lies all day long or slant the story. But what I can't figure out is the local news. So is Jed Mascon, I know he lives on Signal Mountain, he's a liberal, but does he write his own news? I mean, because what he said a few minutes ago was complete garbage on the top of the hour news about, and I don't know why that's local news, the California congressperson that got arrested for trying to yell and scream at Kristi Noem's press conference. But the way he told the story, I guess he figured most of us in Tennessee are so backwards we don't have a TV and can't watch the TV and see what really happened. So the local news guy, Jed Mascon, tells us lies about what happened. We're supposed to just act like, since he's local, he must be telling the truth. I don't know if you heard what he said at the top of the hour news, but he said the guy was attacked by the security. It's like, no, that was about the softest arrest ever. They gently walked him out of the room. I know your phone call answerer here used to be a police officer, and I'm sure he's seen the video and he can comment on, boy, that was an attack on him, because it really was a great professional way of removing the threat. But Jed Mascon made it out like they beat the guy to the ground. Why do we have a local guy telling local news and lying about it?
Well, so there's a couple of things, okay? The first thing I would say is this. I'm in complete agreement with, and of course a lot of this has to do with the fact that, companies like Cumulus have these nationwide agreements with news corporations for all their stations. and sometimes I don't think they take into account that the people listening to talk radio are not the same people listening to rap music, or not the same people listening to contemporary music, or not the same people listening to whatever else. And so it's just a blanket approach. I think they would be much better served locally and at the national level, aligning the news sources with the audience. So as far as that goes, that has been a puzzler to me for as long as I've listened to local talk radio. So I'm in complete agreement with you. On the liberal slant of the local media, whether it's news stations, whether it's the Chattanooga Times Free Press, you name it, there are really two big things going on here, Tony. Number one is, where's the money come from? If you look at most radio stations, TV stations, broadsheets, like a large, huge chunk of their money comes from left-leaning corporations, and it's nationally purchased. The real money that is made gets picked up at the end with the local advertisers getting picked up. But those local advertisers tend to come and go more so than the national advertisers. So when push comes to shove, it's like, what do you keep, your bread and butter, or do you keep your stuff that goes up and down? And so often the corporations pick the corporations because they know that they can keep making money doing it, even if it's not quite in alignment with their audience. And then the second thing that I would say that often makes local news personalities report liberally is the fact that they are. That's the right. I think they did a survey in 2022 or 3. Do you know what percentage of reporters identify as Republican?
Probably 10%.
4. And so when you look at most anchors on TV and you look at editorial staff and you look at writers, like, you've got a good 96% chance they're voting Democrat. And they pretend like they're, impartial journalists, but they're really trying to peddle the narrative. And I've been attacked by left-leaning journalists all over the state and locally, Tony, because I have the temerity to tell people I'm a conservative, to tell them that we're reporting from a conservative perspective, and then to do so, versus what the liberal reporters do, Tony, which is to pretend like that they are independent, but then to try to push a narrative. So apparently in reporting, honesty is a terrible characteristic to have, while lying through your teeth is the noble one.
My other question is, you were talking about the school board members. Did I hear you right that 100% of the school board members voted to fund illegals getting educated in Hamilton County?
More or less, yes, with the distinction that, in my opinion, isn't even a difference. And that is, so I'll tell you who, Ben Darty, who's my school board rep, who doesn't even take the time to return a text.
I'm in Saudi Daisy, so if you don't mind to point out mine, go ahead.
Yeah, and so that's Ben Darty, I think is yours, I believe. Larry Groen, who I love to death, and I couldn't believe he voted that way. Gary Cohn and Joe Smith, they all voted yes, absolutely positively. We are for funding illegal aliens at taxpayer expense. These are Republicans. And then Felice Haddon, who surprised me, Jody Schaefer, and Steve Slater, they didn't even vote to like voice opposition for their constituents. They just went with the Democrats saying, sure, illegal aliens are okay, and then the Republicans that say, sure, we should fund them. So, I mean, I'm telling you, these are the folks we're sending to our school boards thinking, okay, when the times are tough, the Republicans are going to stand up and try to – if you can't vote yes – I'll put it this way, Steve, Tony, if you can't vote with your constituents on an 80% issue, what can you possibly vote with them on? I mean,
That's
it should
right.
be easy. It's the easy stuff. So
the easy stuff is what they vote on. The difficult stuff is when you really learn their character.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever there's bad press, whenever you're going to lose some money, whenever the folks at the country club aren't going to let you to their cocktail parties, and the Signal Mountain elites or whoever it is you run around with, but it just baffles me. It doesn't baffle me. I just think people run for office and they're just not conservative.
Fred learned his lesson on that.
Well, hopefully some lessons will come all over Hamilton County in 2026, and I plan to serve up a few of them myself. So, guys, TennesseeConservativeNews.com. Don't be in the uneducated masses. Get in the know. Love you. Mean it. Can't wait to see you out and about. Until next time, it's Brandon Lewis signing off.